Okay, another episode of Black Guys and White Movies. What's playing in theaters this week? Let's take a look, see if there's anything black in the movies, you know? Okay, first movie up is Keeper. Keeper is not a black movie. Just looking at the poster. It's a father-daughter thing. It looks like, oh no, this is like a horror movie. A wife becomes isolated in a secluded cabin and has to fend off an unspeakable evil. No black people. Again, that's not like the whole thing, but you know, when you look at what is playing in the theaters, this is what these corporations are telling you they are interested in right now, or what they care about. So there are messages being sent out, whether you care or are aware or not, you're receiving them. And you may reject them, you may accept them, they may wear you down, but they're definitely being sent out. Next, we got Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the third movie in the Now You See Me saga. There's some diversity within this movie, but it's for white people. It's for just the majority audience. They want everybody to come and see it. Of course, when everybody comes to see it, that typically means white lead, because that's the quote-unquote standard, as they say. The Running Man, white movie. See, the point is most American-made movies are white movies. It's interesting when there is a movie with a black lead. Okay, that page won't load, but we know Coleman Domingo is in The Running Man. It's funny to think like, we got one. You know, that's like the reaction. We got one. There's one of us in that. I'm not going to do all the like one-off movies. Like there's a Wicked re-release. There was another movie up top. Because those are just one-off, so those might be specific to this theater. This is like an LA theater that does special screenings and has a big audience for those kind of things. Next is Die My Love. And the thing that's interesting about Die My Love in this movie that was If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and Sentimental Value, I think it's another one that's out now. But these are white movies that don't have you can't make a black movie like this. You know, nobody will give you the money. You can make a cheaper version that has some other elements, but it can't, be like this. And I think that's something that a lot of black creatives are fighting against. We want to be able to make whatever we want to make and not what some statistics or numbers or basically white executives think black people want to see. But there's a bigger problem with that, because what are the things that bring people into the theaters? And there's a lot of hurdles with that as well. Lakeith Stanfield is in this movie. And I've noticed this too in movies, and it's in this movie. It's in maybe the I Had Legs, I Would Kick You movie too. It's kind of like the new Magical Negro, but he's a young, cool black guy instead of like an old black guy. Very interesting. We got Nuremberg, another World War II movie, which, to me is kind of irresponsible with the rise of and return of Nazism. Like, these movies can be as anti-Nazi as they come, but they keep that regime relevant, because we always have another WW2 movie. And in movies, people like the villains. It makes villainy look cool to be in a movie. And America is the land of outlaws. And now we have Nazis again, and people that are proud to say that in this country. And we continue to get World War II movies. So I'm just like, on the surface, not a fan right now of this genre of movies, this kind of period piece. Doesn't mean they don't make good movies. This is probably a good movie. It's Russell Crowe, Rami Malek. Just a bunch of familiar faces here. If you're watching the video, Michael Shannon, Colin Hanks. A lot of familiar faces. So I'm sure it's good, but I would not see it. Also, there's not any black people in that movie, let's be real. Predator Badlands. Not a human being, not a single human being in this movie. There's predators and there's androids and then yeah. Again, just a broad white audience. They don't really even care if black people go to see it. It's not going to affect that bottom line. Sarah's Oil, an interesting movie because it is about a black girl. It's a period piece. But is it a black movie? This is probably the most 50-50 movie I've ever seen. Or it's in that category. Maybe there are definitely others. These kind of race friendship movies, I guess you could call them. An unlikely friendship changes the course of history. I have thought about seeing this movie. Maybe I'll go if it's out after the weekend. I'm just a bit interested, and I know maybe that's funny to people that really follow these things. But I saw the trailer and I was like, that doesn't look half bad. So I want to see what the execution is. Sarah's Oil. Then there's Begonia, white movie that I do want to see. I do want to see this movie. I need to make it out. But very white. And very like artsy white. Like Euro white. Because I think it's done by a European, right? So Chainsaw Man is anime. There's not going to be any black characters in that. Even, that's a Japanese. Is Chainsaw Man a Japanese product? I actually don't know. But I know it's an anime, so I assume that it is. Or maybe that it started even in a manga. Or was it an import or was it made for an American? No, this is an import. You can tell by the name. When they have these long names, Chainsaw Man, the movie, Reze Arc. Okay, moving on. Regretting You. Yeah. Okay. Again, that's another genre of movie we don't really get to make. One Battle After Another is still in theaters. One Battle After Another is not made for the black audience. So it's not on a Sarah's Oil level of straddling the line, but it almost straddles the line. It gets close to straddling the line because a number of its main characters are black and Mexican, or at least South American or Hispanic speaking. Immigrants. And then there's Leo, and then Sean Penn. I already saw that. That was a good movie. And then Sentimental Value, which I kind of mentioned before. It's just a movie that if you're a black director wanting to make something like Sentimental Value, good freaking luck. Joachim Trier's sixth film is an intimate and moving exploration of family memories and the healing power of art. Nah. If you black, you better write the book because the movie's not getting made. So yeah, even thinking about it today of not just what's in theater, but what was allowed to be made and how that doesn't, nobody else is given that kind of leeway. You can't make it because white people won't go see your movie and probably not enough black people. Like, not a lot of people are going to see Sentimental Value. That's not breaking box office records. And a very niche audience, and that audience of cinephiles or people that like that tone can only be supported by the sheer numbers of white people. There aren't enough black people that might see a movie like that if it's made by a black director. And it's not even that people wouldn't want to. One is access, like is Sentimental Value playing in all theaters or just in LA? Do they make it accessible for people? It's a smaller budget movie. Is it marketed to enough people? And you'd have to do that work heavy to reach enough of the black audience for that movie to make financial sense. And it's not a comedy. It's not about a real life tragedy. It's hard to get those made, just even beyond taste, but by the numbers. And that's another struggle that you have as a black filmmaker. But I digress. That's what's playing in theaters. Today is Friday, November 14th? See you at the movies.